Launch weekend special, code ESPRESSO gets you 30% off your entire order at gfuel.com. If you're interested, check it out. It's taking me a bit of time, but what you're seeing on screen right now is gold on the M4A1. Now, this is my first weapon that is gold. I ended up putting a lot of time into this weapon. It's, to my knowledge, the weapon with the most levels associated with it, so therefore the just unlock grind to get all the camos done and everything like that should have, in theory, taken a little bit longer than other weapons. I'm going to be grinding out, of course, all others, but today I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to do this maybe a little faster if you're working on the M4 or any other weapon, because a lot of these challenges are the same across the board, just with different variables, perhaps in the totals, perhaps in how many levels it takes before you reach those challenges, and so on and so forth. So today I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a relative gold gun guide video to help you progress a little bit further if you're going on that grind for Damascus. Hopefully these tips that we talk about can help you get gold a little bit faster, but that said, before we jump into it, I want to get your feedback. Would you guys like to see individual gold weapon guides? Would you like to see one for each that we progress through? Would you like to see some follow-up general tips on specific pieces here instead of an overall top-down perspective, like how to get more hipfire kills, how to get more reloading kills, how to get more mounted kills, stuff like that? Would you like to see that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But let's talk about gold camo in this game. Naturally, gold camo in Modern Warfare is that pinnacle of individual weapon challenges. The way the system works here with this, though, it does take a little bit longer than in previous years. With this, it is average, from what I was told by developers, clocked in at around 18 hours of a grind for each individual weapon. You have 100 camos to go through, just about as many challenges, ranging anywhere from crouching kills, hip-fire kills, getting kills with all attachments on your weapon, getting kills with no attachments on your weapon, and so on and so forth. A lot of this stuff simply comes down to your in-game playtime. There is no getting around that. You're going to have to put in work here to end up getting gold and eventually platinum in Damascus, depending on if you want to go that distance. Some of these things here, there is no simple way around it, which is unfortunate. It's not going to be something that with a couple of days of playtime, you'll be able to get everything done. You'll have dark matter by next week or so. But if you can mentally log those hours in your head already saying, all right, it's going to take me X amount of time to just rank up the weapons and get through everything, that's a nice way to start. In terms of maximizing the efficiency of your time, or I guess minimizing the amount of time you put into it, I would suggest going one weapon at a time this year. Previously, I would have said try out different weapons, you'll naturally progress through everything, but with the level ranks of each individual weapon, it is something that if you just focus on one weapon at a time, I personally think that it does help out a little bit. I was really tempted to use other weapons here, but was like, you know what, I want to stick on the M4, I just want to see it through and get it done, and that's what ended up happening. The weapon leveling system is something that, again, takes a bulk of that time perhaps. A lot of the challenges I actually completed almost in real time with completing each weapon category. So things like getting kills with your weapon that has 5 attachments on it, things like getting 3 kills without dying 30 times or whatever it is, those things happened almost naturally, and again, as we progressed, and didn't have to take any deviations or any paths that I wouldn't normally play against. But things like your hip fire, crouching, mounting, and reloading kills are the ones that really, I think, I wouldn't say struggled with, but definitely deterred the grind that I was on and made me have to shuffle up my regular playstyles and therefore added more time on. Again, I can go way more in depth if you guys want to see some individual ways to unlock these in a separate video, but from a top-down perspective and just keeping it a little bit more uniform to how you can do it faster and talking about other ways you can end up unlocking gold. To get more hip fire kills, of course, you have to consciously go and hip fire players. You have to be a little bit more in their face, but also I would definitely recommend running the 5 milliwatt laser as well as the Merc foregrip for your underbarrel, and these offer unique properties that help your hip fire accuracy. The 5 milliwatt laser will of course allow your enemies to see that laser, giving away your position a little bit further, but it also improves that hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed, which can be a great help to that loadout. Additionally, the underbarrel of the Merc foregrip again allows for a little bit more hip fire accuracy and also has some cons of the aim walking movement speed and ADS speed, but again, you're not trying to ADS as much here with this. One big tip that doesn't necessarily deal with that class loadout is that of perhaps trying to start when ADS'd, and then when you know you have 2 shots into them, let go of that left trigger to finish off the kill with only needing to say 1 bullet left to connect as that hip fire shot, and so it can help get that kill a little bit quicker. As for crouching, I'd end up saying that this is something that just comes down to habit. One thing that I thought and told myself to do at the very beginning, but then towards the end of completing these, I think it was around 150 kills or something like that, I ended up finding myself crouching with every single kill. So whether you're starting at a run or just a standing position, make sure you utilize that B, or if you're playing tactical, it is just your right thumbstick, so it's a little easier to do. Make sure you drop down to a crouch either before the gunfight or in gunfight, and that'll help you out. And also another thing that helps you out is that if the enemy is shooting at you, it messes with their hitbox a little bit of a crouch spam thing. Mounted really just comes down to patience, but I would definitely recommend playing ground war for this because you have naturally more players that could come across you at this point, and also there are plenty of predictable spawns, one such being the building overlooking the D spawn in Karst River Quarry. The back E spawn is absolutely insane, and we'll talk about that with the reloading kills in just a second. On Tovorsk District, knowing different locations where players will funnel in and out is definitely something that can help you out, and that comes down to a little bit of just simply playing. But again, if you want to see some more, we'll break it down even in depth. I can break down my personal spots to go for all that, but let me know. The kills shortly after reloading was one that I think tracked very strangely. I thought in some instances that I would have a kill that was relatively considered quick after reloading, but then it didn't track. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a bug, but comes down to the timing of which. I think that this follows very similarly to the double, triple kills, fury kills, and all that kind of medals you end up getting. In between each of those, to chain them together, you have around a 2 to 3 second time window to get a kill right after another one. I think this is the same thing. Once you finish that reload, you have about 2 to 3 seconds at max to end up getting those kills. So again, it could be something that is very tough for some players to get, but one thing that I would definitely recommend for that is running the perk of sleight of hand on whatever weapon you're using, and also then, again, trying to find where players will funnel out of. What you'll see in the gameplay probably at this point right now is a little bit of a nuke choke that I ended up having. Actually, the game that I unlocked gold, but this is something where they just kept funneling out of their A building, and they were funneling out individually one by one. So it offered me a little bit more time to react to the next upcoming gunfight, but also reload every single time so that I was topped off, and that helped out tremendously. But you'll see that through these clips, it is something that I just go running back and forth in between it. I reload, do a little 360, and then go right back into gunfights in some instances. So that's something that, of course, you need to be conscious of, and it definitely does take a little bit of getting in the thick of it, which might not be everybody's cup of tea, but a lot of these challenges kind of take you out of what your cup of tea is. So those, to me personally, I think are the best ways for those challenges that may be a little bit tough. But overall, in terms of just simply getting through a lot of your kills and things like that, hardcore is probably still the best way to do it. To me, I haven't really played as much hardcore as I would have liked to admit, especially compared to recent years when going for camo grinds, but hardcore, just simply because of the lower TTK already and the ability to just be able to breeze through different kill counters as a result. It also is something that if you're, say, leaning on something, you still have that nice little peak advantage where if somebody's rounding a corner, you should have them. It's not something like in core where you can put 2, 3, 4 shots into them and they may still be alive and duck into a corner that they can come back and kill you with. So hardcore, I would definitely recommend. As well, one that I absolutely loved here for this was, again, just simply ground war. I'm loving ground war in Modern Warfare. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the amount of players is where I really thought that I flourished. I ended up dropping way more kills in ground war than any other game mode that we see here. I'm dropping on average 40 or 50 kills, and that's usually gun kills. A lot of the times I'll die off a streak or something before I can get my helicopter, and even the attack chopper, I think they nerfed it. Can't confirm, but regardless, it is something you just get simply more kills and in a comparable time frame. Overall, though, the camos themselves, again, come down to simply specific camo grinds. So if we're talking simply modes, hardcore and ground war would definitely be my two best go-tos here for this. They offer their own unique rights, a lot of action, or a lot of easier kills, perhaps, in the sense of the quicker time to kill. But ultimately, before we wrap this video up, I wanted to give you my thoughts here on gold, because to me personally, going through and putting 10 plus hours into a weapon, one weapon in particular, that is way more than we've ever seen before. And while it might not be everybody's favorite camo, the one thing that I will definitely say is that's the most rewarding in the sense of the weight lifted off your shoulders. When you go for something for so long, it is definitely something that you just cannot wait to be done. I know going into it, I think I had 9 kills left shortly after reloading or something like that, going into the game that I unlocked it in. And before that, I had a couple of games where it just really wasn't going my way, but I was just so ready to be done. And so when I finally went on that tear that you saw earlier in the video, I was just relieved beyond belief, because I knew there was no way that I didn't get those kills. And so whenever I finally completed it, when I finally saw gold, it was just a huge weight lifted off my shoulder. And in that sense, I think that it's the most rewarding that we've seen so far, because there is so much time put into it. There is so much dedication put into one simple camo. So when we inevitably see people getting platinum and Damascus camo, that is going to be something that denotes the true grind. Whether or not you guys think it's as rewarding of a camo, again, that's completely up to you, but I'd love to get your feedback down there in the comment section down below. But I want to give you guys some quick little tips here, show you guys some of what I had to go through for gold, and hopefully I can answer any questions again, either in the comments or maybe in depth with follow-up videos. But while outside of game modes, there's really not much more self-explanatory. I wanted to give you guys some tips here real quick for maybe those individual challenges that you may not have understood how they worked out entirely, like the reloading ones, or maybe you're just having some tough times with the hip fire, maybe the mounted. So I want to give you guys some tips with ones that, again, maybe were a little bit off the beaten path and therefore presented some issues, but hopefully this helped you out in some way, shape, or form. And also, I just kind of wanted to share this with you guys here, my thoughts on gold overall. So that said, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular that you guys are looking forward to? Do you like, dislike, love, hate gold camo, platinum, or Damascus even? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare. We're going to be continuing to kill it with the content here coming throughout the next coming days and weeks, and of course months throughout the year. So subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with my side on YouTube. I live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. Minus the espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.